Hi, I'm Linda Garnett. I'm co-founder of Stellar Partnerships, and I'm a corporate partnerships specialist. For all of you out there who are working in corporate partnerships, I know you've been spending months on researching your corporate prospects, you've been nurturing relationships, and now finally, perhaps you're at the stage when you've been invited to make a presentation, to make a pitch to the corporate decision makers. Congratulations. What a big opportunity. It's really exciting, but a bit daunting as well. You might not be the only one they're considering. So how do you make yourself stand out? How do you make yourself get over the line for a partnership and get them to say yes? This is the time to get creative. You need to pimp your pitch. What do I mean? Let's take a look. Here's what I mean about pimping your pitch, and here's an easy way to remember it. The P is for provocative. Can you challenge their thinking? Can you upset what's comfortable? Challenge the status quo. I is for inspiring. Was it fun? Was it engaging? How did you let them feel? And M, is it memorable? Will it stay with them after you? Here's the first one. The first one is props. Not sure if you've ever used those in a presentation. I know most of you are quite comfortable with a standard PowerPoint deck, but think about props, physical things that you can use to bring your presentation to life. Because as humans, we will have an instinct to reach out and touch something. Here's an example of something I did with a particular corporate prospect one year, and I was hoping to get them online with a particular emergency famine relief program. So what I did was I filled the table with measures of all of the things that you'd find in a refugee food ration. And I measured them out, put them in little jars. And there was rice and pulses and oil and salt and all the things they'd find. So they're able to reach over to the table and pick them up and touch them and assess them and weigh them. It really brought to life what it took to keep a family alive in these emergency, desperate situations. And it was much more powerful than showing them a picture. What are the props that are relevant to your organization? Think about the practical things, the tangible things. It could be as little as a postcard. You don't actually have to use here a whole suite of things. It could be something really small. Think about what's relevant to your organization that can bring your story to life. Here's the second tip. People. You might be a fantastic speaker. No doubt you're really experienced. You've done this before. But maybe you'd like to give your audience an experience of hearing from someone different. Who could that be? Who could you bring with you? Could that be, as one cancer charity did, they brought along someone with lived experience of cancer and who told their story from diagnosis to remission and coming out the other side, which is incredibly powerful and very emotional. If you can't physically bring someone with you, think about doing it on a video or a live cross or even something just as raw as iPhone footage. And one charity in Australia did this really well when they were pitching to a corporate audience. They got their ambassador to record a short video speaking directly to that audience. And it was a little bit like this. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Sally. Great to hear that you're considering a partnership with Charity X. I've worked with them for a lot of years, and I can tell you how fantastic their outcomes are. I'm totally committed to their future, and I hope you will be too. How powerful was that to hear from an ambassador? And it didn't hurt that the ambassador happened to be Chris Hemsworth either. So you may not have a Chris Hemsworth in your portfolio, but I'm sure you've got other people that can speak for you. And here's a really radical idea. Could you bring another corporate partner, an existing relationship with you, to talk about the partnership? They could talk about what you've achieved together, both for your community and for their business. Speaks directly to the experience of your corporate prospect. And it's so much more powerful when you get someone else talking about you rather than you talking about yourself. And here's the third one, experiences. Experiences create an emotional response, far beyond anything that people can listen or see. How can you get them involved and practically have an experience of what you do? Now, if you're an overseas aid charity, I really feel for you, because you're not going to take your corporate audience to go and dig a deep water well in Uganda, nor would you even want to. But one charity got really creative with this. One aid agency took a bunch of virtual reality headsets to their corporate, and through the VR was able to walk them through a community, walk them through a village in a remote area that they were working in, and talk about all the great work they were doing. So it was a great way of using new technology to bring that experience to life. If you don't have technology, you can go low tech. A wonderful theatre company who work with actors and audiences with a disability brought a bunch of blindfolds, and they blindfolded their audience and got them to smell and touch and experience a performance in a way that someone would if they had a disability. So you don't need the tech to bring it to life. You just need to think about creative ways of doing it. Again, what you're after is an emotional response. So you should really think about pimping your pitch. Be provocative, be inspiring, be memorable, and be practical, because those are the types of things that will leave your corporate audience thinking that you're the right partner, and they will stay with them long after you've left the room. Get creative, pimp your pitch, and best of luck with your pitching. Left the room. And P is practical. How did you engage them? How did they get involved? Was there something hands-on they can do? All of these combine to give them an experience that make you stand out. So what I'm going to give you now are 3 really easy tips to help you pimp your pitch.